What's good, YouTube? Let's break down these pairs. Now here's your USD. We're gonna start from the monthly time frame, and looking at structure, we can see that there was a swing here that was broken recently to the upside. So based on the monthly, we can say that our bias is bullish. So now we can drop straight away to the 4-hour time frame and try to plot our zones. So what can we see here? Well, we are on a clear uptrend, and recently we've been ranging, so now we can focus on the nearest price action and draw our zones. As you can see, when price broke up here, it made a high here, and that high was broken around here. So this high was broken here. So what we can do is we can draw our first zone here to indicate the push that enabled us to break out of this range. So what we would do is we would draw our zone here and extend it to the future. So as you can see, price broke out, came back, retested the zone, went further, came back, tapped the zone, and tapped the zone. So that would be our first zone for EURUSD that is of interest to us. And as you can see, when price came up here, it came down, retraced, and then broke. So it broke this swing. So this is also another important zone that we can mark off. And this is the candle that led to the break of that swing, so that would be an important zone for us as well. So here we have two zones, and as you can see, price is ranging in between these two zones. Based on the monthly, our directional bias is bullish, so we would not be surprised to see price eventually wiping this zone out and continuing to the upside. So it would be nice to see price go up, come back for a retest into this zone, tap the zone, and then we can look for more buy entries in order to continue our way upwards. That's basically what would be ideal. But if price does end up breaking this zone and go into the downside, then we could also look for a short opportunity when it retests the zone in order to continue downwards. But because our monthly bias is bullish, we would be more inclined for the upside movement than the downside movement. Now, just because our monthly bias is bullish does not mean we do not take short trades. Of course we'll take short trades. Like in this case here, when this zone was created, the first return back to the zone, we would be able to look for a short straight from a zone to zone trade, and that could easily given you something of let's see, your stop would be above the zone somewhere around 26, 27, 25, 30, depending on where your entry is, and you just drag it. Your exit would be at the top of this zone, so you get a 1 to 3 almost, 1 to 3, 1 to 2.5 trade. Now depending on what entry method you used, you are free to use whatever entry method. I like to go drop down to the lower time frame, to the 15-minute, and look for a nice signal, you know, to enter to go lower. But the whole point I'm trying to make is we have our preference, which is derived from the monthly. Bullish, we prefer bullish trades. Bullish trades would be, in our thinking, stronger, but the bearish option, if it presents, can also prove to be fruitful. But one thing to consider is when you're taking the bearish setups against the monthly bias, which is bullish, try to exit as soon as possible. Whereas if you're taking a bullish trade while the monthly bias is bullish as well, so in congruence to the monthly, so you could hold those trades for longer, so you could close partials and let the trade keep running, you know, in anticipation of it going even higher, because the monthly is supporting your bias. So that's that about that. I think these two levels are the most important right now, so we are stuck within these two price zones. Now price has already tapped this zone and it has already tapped this zone, so you should not look for more trades here until we exit this range. And now, since it's a holiday period, low volatility, we might be stuck in this range for a while, but you know, it's Forex, anything can happen, so we'll just have to keep our eyes on it. Now on to the next. GBPUSD would be our next pair to look at, and as you can see, based on the latest swing high was broken, so automatically this would give me a bullish bias on the monthly. As simple as that. This was the swing and it was broken to the upside, so I would be bullish on a monthly bias. So I can drop down now to my 4-hour time frames and look at the zones, try to find some zones. So clearly here I can see there was a swing here that was broken up here, so I would like to identify the zone that led to that break. That would be important for me. So this is an important zone for me. This candle led to the break of this swing, and here we are. This here is a swing, but as you can see, this swing was more of a continuation move, not a proper swing like this. You see, as you can see, this swing came up as a retracement and then there were bearish candles printed, whereas in this case it's one continuous bullish move. So I won't consider this a swing, even though it does support my bias of the monthly being bullish, breaking swings. So now GU is looking good. It has created a nice zone here. It has impulsed upwards, and now it seems to be on a retracement. So the first retracement back here would be nice to look for continuation to the upside. But this zone does look pretty huge. It's around 98, 95, almost 100 pips. So once price does return to this zone, it would be advisable to drop down to a lower time frame, i.e. the 15-minute or 1 hour, depending on how you prefer, and then look for your entry signal so that you can tighten the range of the stop loss as well as get a better entry, you know. Yeah, that's that about that. I don't see any other. I mean, this is the most important zone. Of course, I could. This is another zone right here from on the upside. This zone broke this swing low, so this is important as well. It led to the break of the swing low, and you can see price came back and tapped it. So had I been already watching this pair, this zone would have already been here. So once price came back to this zone, I would be looking for an entry signal on the 15-minute to take a short. Now the entry signal could be anything, it's up to you. It could be bearish engulfing, it could be a pin bar, it could be a Fibonacci retracement level, it could be all sorts of anything depending on what you want. So you could have found an entry signal. I see 1, 2, 3 entries, potential entries on this zone, and the zone itself is around 30 pips, not that big. You know, you could enter at the median threshold of the zone, which would give you 15 to 20 pips, and then you could ride it down, even though it's against the monthly bias. But you could ride it down and exit at the nearest zone, knowing that this zone would likely be tapped in the near future, so that it would continue its bullish bias. And that's that about that with GBPUSD. And let's go to USDJPY. USDJPY, let's go on the monthly as usual. Let's see what's going on. Well, as you can see, it's a clear downtrend. You know, we had this massive indecision candle here that basically wiped out all buyers stops that were lying down here, but it's still pretty much bearish. Swing here was broken to the downside. Change that to red, indicating bearishness. As you can see, there was a swing here, was broken, and then now it just continues to move down. So basically monthly is bearish for us on the UJ. So our preference would be looking for shorts, but we still take longs if longs present. The only difference is we hold shorts longer because the monthly is supporting, and if we're taking longs, we don't hold them for that long. So looking at the 4-hour time frame, in order for us to get our zones, I would say here is the important swing which was broken, and what initiated the break I would say would be this candle right here. So a return to that level would be interesting for me. Here there was one swing here, another swing here that was also broken with this move. I would also use this candle in order to highlight. So if price does end up breaking past here, so this could be a place that price might reverse, and going even further, we could go as high as here. So these are the, as you can see, this move broke this swing, and this swing. So this was a strong move. It came all the way back, but it did not quite tap it. So that might be intentional, just so that price can move away, convince people to place their stops here, so that it can come back and tap it, and then and then continue. Or it might just be enough. The orders might be enough. So we got zone here, zone here, zone here, and for the bullish argument, we have this zone here. We have this zone here that led to the move up, but it didn't really break any swings per se, but it did initiate the move, and now here we are just dangling in between these two because of low liquidity and, you know, holidays and everything. So what am I seeing in UJ? Well, I would, since we're bearish on the monthly, I would like to see price come up here and then look for shorts. This is the first place I'll be looking, second place, third place. That's about that for UJ. And if price does come down first before reaching these levels and gives us a signal here, I might look for a bullish signal on the 15-minute in order to take it up. But because we are bearish, I would be less likely, because this would be a lower probability trade. To be honest, I don't really like UJ that much. UJ price action does not look the cleanest for me, even in past trades. So I try to stay away from UJ because I get burnt more than I actually profit or benefit from this pair. So yeah, looking at price action right now, it's not looking too clean, it's not looking too nice, not looking too pretty. So if you have other pairs that are more clearer, it would be better to stay away from this pair and go to another pair. But if it looks clear to you, definitely go for it. Now let's go for USDCHF, the Swissy. Swissy, as we can see on the monthly, clear bearish price action. Latest swing that was broken to the downside. That's all we need to know to give us our monthly bias. And now what we can do is look for our zones. Well, as you can see, there was a bearish move, but then it was doing a bunch of consolidating for probably a week or two here. Let's see, it started consolidating here, and this is a total of 24 days, so that's like almost a month worth of consolidating. USDCHF not being active that much, has not been nice, but as you can see, okay, there was a swing low here. We can plot that as our first zone of interest. So if price does go back up here, we can be looking for shorts. There was another swing created here which was broken, so we could identify that as another level to potentially look for shorts. And then here we just have a bunch of consolidation, nothing good, nothing sexy. Swing here, broken here, what led to the break up here, would say it was this candle right here. But as you can see, it has barely left. Sure, there was an impulsive move here, came back, bounced on the level, and then now it's on its way. There's another swing here which was taken out here, but wasn't really taken out very convincingly. It basically peaked out and then, you know, came right back in. So not a strong sign, not a confident sign. So yeah, USDCHF also not looking too clean. If prices reach up here or here, would be more than willing to take shorts, but as of now, price is just stuck in a range. So just like UJ, price isn't really doing much. GU and EU are much more clearer, and that's that for the breakdown. I hope you guys like the video. We'll be releasing more of these on a more continuous basis, and yeah, like and subscribe if you like the content.